All right, let's dive into a word that you've probably used 1,000 times without even thinking about it. We're going to unpack one of the most common words in the English language, bird. But what if I told you that packed inside this one little word is this whole world of different sounds and meanings and uses? We're about to find out, and in the process, we might just challenge the whole idea of what makes a word simple in the first place. And to do that, we're keeping it really focused. In fact, everything we're about to explore comes from just one single web page, the Simple English Wiktionary entry for bird. That's it. So where does the complexity start? Well, it begins with the very first thing you learn about any word, how to actually say it. And as you're about to see, that's not quite as straightforward as you might think. Right off the bat, we see a subtle difference. In the UK, you get this softer sound, bird. But in the US, it's a bit of a harder, more pronounced sound, bird. It's a tiny distinction, for sure, but it's our first clue that this word has some hidden depths. Okay, so from the sound, let's move on to the meaning. When we think of the word bird, our minds usually jump straight to the definition we all learned as kids. Yep, this is Bird 101. It's a warm-blooded animal with feathers, wings, and eggs, like a sparrow or even a penguin. This is the bird we all picture. Simple enough, right? Well, because bird is also slang for something completely different and a lot less polite. To give someone the bird has absolutely nothing to do with animals and everything to do with a very specific, very vulgar hand gesture. Our source gives us this perfect, vivid example. I mean, you can just feel the road rage here, can't you? It's the same word, but the context and the meaning could not be more different. And just to add another layer to this, the Wiktionary entry notes another slang usage from parts of Asia, where bird can mean a penis. So that makes 3 wildly different meanings, and we're still just talking about the noun form. But we are not done yet, because bird isn't just a thing, it's also something you can do. The word also works as a verb, and it has its own set of distinct meanings. And the contrast here is just fascinating. On one hand, to bird can mean hunting, to catch or shoot birds. But on the other hand, it means the complete opposite. To go birding is to observe and appreciate wild birds in nature. Same action word, 2 totally different intentions. So after all that, the different pronunciations, the slang, the conflicting verbs, our source material hits us with this one simple fact that seems to contradict everything we've just learned. Bird is on the Basic English 850 list. That's a list of just 850 words that are considered essential for fundamental communication. So bird, with all its hidden complexity, is officially one of the simplest, most basic words in the entire language. How is that even possible? And that, of course, leads to the obvious question, what exactly is this Basic English list, and why in the world is a word as complicated as bird on it? So here's the answer. The Basic English 850 is a vocabulary list that was designed specifically for language learners. It only focuses on the most essential words you need for everyday life. And that tells us that the core concept of a bird, the animal, is what's considered fundamental. All the slang and other meanings, those are layers you pick up later on. So, our short little journey through a single dictionary entry has shown us that this word is anything but simple. We found 2 pronunciations, 3 completely different noun definitions, and 2 conflicting verb meanings. All of this complexity is just hiding in plain sight, inside one of the most basic words in English. And all of this really leaves us with one final question to think about. If a foundational word like bird has so many layers of meaning and culture packed inside of it, is any word we use ever truly simple?